there is a terrifying finality to an anonymous death. We spend our entire lives building an identity. We have names. We have driver's licenses. We have dental records. We have families. We have labels on our clothes that tell us where we bought them. We leave a trail of data wherever we go. So how is it possible for a man to simply delete himself? Imagine you are walking on a beach in Adelaide, Australia. It is the morning of December 1, 1948. You see a man lying against the sea wall. He looks peaceful. He looks like he is sleeping. He is well dressed. He is wearing a suit and tie despite the summer heat. His shoes are polished. He has a half-smoked cigarette resting on his collar, as if it fell from his mouth just as he lost consciousness. You call the police. They arrive, they check his pockets. They expect to find a wallet, a passport, a letter. They find nothing. No ID, no money, no keys. And stranger still, all the labels have been cut out of his clothes. The name tags on his shirt, his pants, his jacket, all carefully snipped away with scissors. He is a man with no name. But he has a secret. Deep inside the waistband of his trousers, sewn into a hidden fob pocket that the police almost missed, is a tiny, rolled-up scrap of paper. It has 2 words printed on it in an exotic font. Tamam Shud. It is a phrase from 12th century Persia. It means the end or it is finished. This scrap of paper will lead detectives into a labyrinth of Cold War spies, uncracked codes, secret love affairs, and a mystery so dense that it will take 74 years and advanced DNA technology to finally answer the question: who was the Somerton Man? This is the story of the Tamam Shud case. It is widely considered one of the most profound mysteries of the 20th century. It is a story that involves a book of poetry found in a parked car, a nurse who nearly fainted when she saw the death mask, and a sequence of letters that the NSA still cannot decode. If you are fascinated by the art of espionage and the chilling silence of the unidentified dead, please hit that subscribe *** button right now. You need to hear this story, because even though we think we know his name today, the shadow of his life is still darker than the grave. To understand the mystery, we have to look at the corpse. The man found on Somerton Beach was an enigma from the start. He was about 40 to 45 years old. He was physically impressive. He had broad shoulders and a narrow waist. His calf muscles were highly developed, prominent and high, like those of a ballet dancer or a long-distance runner. His toes were wedged into a triangular shape, consistent with wearing pointed shoes or dancing boots. He was fit, but inside he was destroyed. The autopsy revealed that his spleen was enlarged. His stomach was filled with blood. The pathologist, Dr. Dwyer, was convinced. "I am quite convinced the death was unnatural." Poison. But what kind of poison? They tested for cyanide, negative. They tested for strychnine, negative. Whatever killed him was rapid, deadly, and vanished from the system quickly. It was the perfect murder weapon, a digitalis-type poison, a rare biotoxin. The police were stumped. They fingerprinted him. They sent the prints to every English-speaking country in the world. The FBI, Scotland Yard. No match. He wasn't a criminal. He wasn't a soldier, or at least not one on record. He was nobody. 6 weeks later, a breakthrough. Police found a brown suitcase deposited in the cloakroom of the Adelaide railway station. It had been checked in on November 30, the day before the body was found. The police opened it. Inside, they found clues that only deepened the mystery. A stencil kit, used for painting on cargo. A pair of scissors, the kind used to cut labels. A spool of orange barber thread. This thread was crucial. It was a rare type not sold in Australia. And it was the exact asterisk same thread, used to repair the lining of the dead man's pants pocket. The suitcase belonged to him. But inside the suitcase, the labels were also removed. Except for 3 items. A tie, a laundry bag, and a singlet were marked with the name T. Keen or Keen. Police were excited. They searched for a missing person named Keen. There was nobody. They realized it was a red herring. The man had likely bought the clothes secondhand, or, if he was a spy, he left the Keen labels on purpose to mislead them. The Keen lead was a dead end. The police went back to the body. They re-examined the clothes. And that is when they found the hidden pocket. Sewn inside the waistband of his trousers was a tiny, tightly rolled piece of paper. They unfurled it. Tamam Shud. They called in experts from the public library. They identified it as the final phrase from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam *, a book of Persian poetry famous for its themes of living life to the fullest because death is inevitable. The paper had been torn out of a book. The police launched a nationwide search. Look for a copy of the Rubaiyat with the last page torn out. In July 1949, a man walked into the police station. He said, "I think I have the book." He explained that on November 30, 1948, the day the Somerton Man arrived in Adelaide, he had found this book tossed into the back seat of his car, which was parked near Somerton Beach. He thought nothing of it until he saw the news. The police took the book. They looked at the last page. The words Tamam Shud were missing. They conducted a microscopic analysis of the torn paper found on the body. It matched the tear in the book perfectly. This was the book the dead man had held hours before he died. If the story ended here, it would be weird, but the book turned it into an espionage thriller. On the back cover of the book, someone had written a series of letters in pencil. Faint markings. WRGOABABD. MLAUI. WTBIMPNTP. MLIBOYAC asterisk. ITTMTSMSTGAB. 5 lines of code. The second line was crossed out, suggesting a mistake. Cryptographers from the Australian Navy and Air Force tried to crack it. They failed. They said the frequency of letters didn't match English. It could be a one-time pad cipher, unbreakable without the key. Or it could be the first letters of a poem, or a sentence that only the writer knew. To this day, the NSA has not cracked this code. It remains one of the world's most famous unsolved ciphers. But there was something else on the back cover. A phone number. X3239 *. It was an unlisted number. The police traced it. It belonged to a young nurse living in Glenelg, a suburb just 400 meters from where the body was found. Her name was Jessica Jestyn Thompson though she was known as Jestyn in the investigation to protect her identity for decades. Police visited Jestyn. She was terrified. She admitted she owned a copy of the Rubaiyat *. She said she had given it as a gift to an army lieutenant named Alf Boxall in Sydney in 1945. Police thought, aha, the dead man is Alf Boxall. But then they found Alf Boxall, alive in Sydney. And he still had his copy of the book, and his copy had Tamam Shud intact. So the dead man had different asterisk copy of the same obscure book. But the connection to the nurse was undeniable. Why did the dead man have her phone number? Why was he found dead near her house? The police took Jestyn to the morgue. They showed her the plaster cast bust of the dead man's face. The reaction was telling. According to the detective present, when Jestyn saw the face, she looked completely shocked. She nearly fainted. She looked down and refused to look at the face again. She seemed to recognize him. But she denied it. "I don't know him," she said. She claimed a stalker had been bothering her, but she wouldn't say more. She begged the police not to release her name. She said she was married now, and it would ruin her reputation. The police agreed. They let the most promising lead slip away. The combination of clues led to one prevailing theory: espionage. 1. The code, *spies use ciphers. 2. The one-time pad, **, the Rubaiyat ** is a common book used for one-time pad encryption. Spies carry a specific edition to decode messages. 3. The poison, ** an undetectable poison is a hallmark of an assassination or a suicide pill. 4. The labels, * removing labels is standard procedure to prevent tracing. 5. The location, * Adelaide was home to the Woomera Test Range, a top-secret missile testing facility. Intelligence agencies were active there. Was the Somerton Man a Soviet spy or a British spy? Was Jestyn his handler or his lover? Was Alf Boxall involved? The theory was that the Somerton Man came to Adelaide to meet Jestyn. Something went wrong. He was erased. Years later, investigators looked closer at Jestyn's life. She had a son, Robin Thompson *. Robin was born in 1947. Photos of Robin as an adult show a striking resemblance to the Somerton Man. But more than that, Robin had rare genetic traits. 1. Hypodontia, * missing both lateral incisors teeth. This affects only 2% of the population. The Somerton Man had this. 2. The ear, * the Somerton Man's upper ear hollow, Simba, was larger than the lower hollow. This is a rare trait. Robin had this too. The odds of sharing both traits are millions to 1. The theory evolved. The Somerton Man wasn't just a spy, he was Robin's father. He came to Adelaide to see his son. Jestyn rejected him. He died of a broken heart, suicide, or was removed because he was a liability. Robin Thompson grew up never knowing his true father. He became a dancer, remember the calf muscles. He died in 2009. Jestyn died in 2007. They took their secrets to the grave. For 70 years, the case was cold. Amateur sleuths obsessively analyzed the code. Derek Abbott, a professor at the University of Adelaide, dedicated his life to solving it. He married Rachel Egan, the daughter of Robin Thompson. Yes, he married the potential granddaughter of the Somerton Man. He wanted to prove the family connection. In May 2021, the South Australian police finally agreed to exhume the body. They dug up the Somerton Man. They took samples from the bones and hair. They hoped modern DNA technology could finally give him a name. July 26, 2022. Professor Abbott announced a breakthrough. Using forensic genealogy, the same tech used to catch the Golden State Killer, they found a match. They traced the DNA to a family tree. They narrowed it down to one man. Carl Charles Webb, born in 1905 in Melbourne. He was 43 years old when he died. He was an electrical engineer and instrument maker. He was the youngest of 6 siblings, and he had disappeared from public records in 1947. The ID of Carl Webb explains a lot, but it also creates new questions. Does it fit the physical description? Yes, Carl Webb was the right age and height. Does it fit the Keene label? Yes, Carl's brother-in-law was named Thomas Keene. It is likely Carl was wearing his brother-in-law's hand-me-down clothes. Does it fit the personality? Carl was known to be a bit of a loner. He liked poetry. He liked betting on horses. Some think the code is actually a betting shorthand for horse names. Why was he in Adelaide? Carl was married to a woman named Dorothy Robertson. She left him in 1947 because he was moody and possibly abusive. She moved to South Australia. Carl likely came to Adelaide to find his estranged wife. So the Somerton Man was Carl Webb, an engineer with a failed marriage. But this solution feels too simple. It leaves gaping holes. 1. The code. If he was just a sad husband, why write a complex string of letters on the back of a book? Horse betting? Maybe. But the letters haven't been matched to any races that day. 2. The poison. Why did he die of an undetectable poison? Why not just shoot himself or jump in the ocean? Where did an instrument maker get sophisticated biotoxins? 3. The nurse. What about Jestyn? Why did she faint? Why did she have his phone number? Did Carl know Jestyn? Was the DNA match a coincidence? Or was Carl Webb also a spy? Being an electrical engineer is the perfect cover for technical espionage. Did he know Jestyn from the spy world? Why did he have the *rubaiyat? The identification of Carl Webb solves the who, but it doesn't solve the why. It doesn't explain the Tamam Shud. It doesn't explain why a man would lie down on a beach, dress perfectly, and wait to die without leaving a note for his wife. The Tamam Shud case is the ultimate, unique documentary, because it combines the noir aesthetic of the 1940s with the high-tech science of the 2020s. It shows us that even with DNA, some secrets are resistant to science. We gave him a name, but we didn't give him a story. He is still the man on the beach. He is still the man who cut the labels out of his life. Carl Webb lies in the West Terrace Cemetery. His tombstone used to say, "Here lies the unknown man." Now we know who he was. But the scrap of paper, the Tamam Shud, is still the most defining thing about him. It is finished. He wanted it to be finished. He wanted to be erased. And in a way, despite our best efforts, he succeeded. We know his name, but we don't know him. This case is a rabbit hole that goes on forever. The spy theory versus the jilted lover theory. Do you think Carl Webb was just a sad engineer, or was that a cover for something deeper? And what about the code? Let me know your theories in the comments. If you love mysteries that take a lifetime to solve, please hit that *** button and subscribe ***. I have a story coming next week about the Dyatlov Pass of the Sea, the Mary Celeste, and a new theory that explains why the tea was still warm when they found the empty ship. Stay safe, label your clothes, and leave a note.